Bring in now our panel. We are here with former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney Robert Bianchi. Also with us, Steve Moore is with us, former FBI. As we look at all of this, Steve, one of the things that has come up is how quickly this all came together, how well law enforcement worked together to get this done. It has been a week, a little over a week, since the first young man went missing. Walk us through what it's like to be able to make these kind of inroads in a short period of time.
Well, what happens in some of these cases is that you start getting information so quickly that you don't have time to do other things. I mean, you saw that the police at a certain point, or the prosecutors, weren't having press conferences. That was because the information was flooding them. They were drinking out of a fire hose. And so it became very important for them to keep up with the case rather than what was going on. So you have evidentiary stuff coming out of the 12-foot grave, and you have testimonial information. You have a lot of electronic information that was coming in before the arrests. So there were so many things going on that really it was hard, I'm sure, for them to keep track of it.
And you bring up such a great point, because in this day and age, we are all starved for information because we are used to getting information 24/7. The minute you pick up your phone, there is an alert about something. And yet, as a prosecutor, Bob, what you need to do, obviously, is do your job. And that is not always talking to reporters and telling the community what's going on. How do you balance it in a case like this when there are so many questions and there are 4 young men who are missing?
Most law enforcement agencies investigating a case of this magnitude have tips and lead management software. They have teams of people, if it's done correctly, who are working the electronic data side, people who are doing the gumshoe detective interviewing side. You have lawyers that are doing the legal side. And it is true that you got to funnel that information and you got to try to get rid of it very quickly so that something doesn't get lost. The other problem on these scenes that I think the FBI guest would also agree with is that a lot of times one hand may not know what the other hand is doing. It may be relevant information from Detective A that's not getting over to Detective B. So making sure that you're maintaining that data is very important. They certainly did that here. And what's really impressive, that has to be kept in mind, the fact that they found that car and they were able to get that witness to tie Dinardo to that car was a great lead, but it was by no means the probable cause to make an arrest at that point in time, making Dinardo's statement key not only to sealing his fate, but the co-defendant's fate as well.
Okay, we'll continue to dive in a little bit deeper. Need to take a quick break. We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back.